Welcome back to Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, anime review episode number 21. We are reviewing the final episode of the second season of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, otherwise known as Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid S, which is technically also the 26th episode of the series. Life is a constant change, but it's okay to stop and appreciate it. Now, here's the weird thing about this episode. It's the chapters they adapt for this episode. Two of the three things they adapt for this episode are chapters they have adapted before in season 1. In this episode, they readapt chapters 40, 48, and they also adapt something that they did not adapt before, the 6th chapter of the Enma manga. Yeah, if you're curious about what this thing is, it's a spin-off book for Enna. Yep, because the cast of Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid is a pretty diverse cast, and like every single character has got their own spin-off book. Except for Lulu for some reason. She's the only one who doesn't. I mean, yeah, Toru's takes up the main series, so you have adventures for these various other characters just to build this whole world. The first segment is about a summer festival, which is something they have explored before in season 1. Though in the case of this episode, it's more like a readaptation plus a slightly closer adaptation to what was there from the original manga, because I believe Lulu was actually cut out of the original adaptation, in the original cut of the original episode, because she'd not been introduced yet. So they basically put her back in. That's just a summer festival. Not the first series I've seen basically do this. Several of the anime I have watched have had a summer festival, so this is nothing new. But the second segment, now the summer festival basically, like before the summer festival, they have a complete set, cool little like mini scene here where you have the 4 girls going shopping for Komodos. And like in the case of last season, Kobayashi does not wear one. Though in the case of a Kobayashi, now here's the thing. In the last season, it was Kana who decided to wear Kobayashi's old Komodo, and of course, Kobayashi got Toru a Komodo. And then the very next season, they get new Komodos. Heck, even Lulu gets her own Komodo. Yep, and also her friend Take is in the thing too, where she talks about she's being tricked, like the way it was at the start of the season, which that's come full circle. That's perfectly fine. They included that there. And then we have a quiet segment here where we have Kobayashi dragging Toru off of someplace. And of course, Toru tells Kobayashi she loves her. And then, of course, Kobayashi says, "You're clingy," and that kind of ends the thing. But it's a really good segment. I appreciate the fact they did this. And it's not the first time. Now, this one I don't see very much in a lot of anime, especially one set in modern day. The Flower Viewing Party. Now, there have been a few anime that have done this. You know what I could think of that did this? Let's see. You have My Girlfriend's a Slutty Virgin. That one had one. Let's see. Case Closed had one of these too, because why not? I'm trying to think. There was like any other series I could think of that actually had a viewing party that's set in modern day. Well, it's not technically this series. Let's see. You probably think, okay, well, Bleach. Bleach never had one. Nope, never did. And what about My Hero Academia? Nope. Okay. What about My Brother's Mermaid? Surprisingly, no. There has been no. I don't remember seeing one from last year. Usually, like a lot of the more modern anime I've actually watched that came out just last year. Now I'm looking at basically of the stuff I watched last year. See, it was like any anime I could think of where they had a flower viewing party. I don't think so. Maybe the Alpha Fox Jungle Saga. I think that one had one. Imori Himmer, I think that one did. Love Tower did not. Usuki Chairman saying that one had a summer festival episode, but not something dealing with the Sakura Festival. No, that never did. I think Kaguya-sama, I think that one did I think it did. Yeah, a few series I've watched have had one of these, but not every single one of them. But a small chunk of them have. Now, in the case of, oh yeah, by the way, the second one had this weird way of ending where you have Kobayashi for pictures, and they are very terrible looking pictures. And Shogun is like, oh yeah, you must have fun. He's like, eh. Then, of course, like, right after that, then we have the second segment, which is the viewing party. So, we have, well, everybody here except for Sakawa. Yes, there's no explanation why Sakawa is not here. I would have thought, though, they have Taki here, they have Sota here, and I'm thinking, where's Sakawa? Don't know. I guess that the studio didn't bother to include her in this segment because she was in the first segment. Why not include her here too? You clearly have almost the entire freaking cast of the series in this particular segment. Oh, by the way, she's not the only one not here. Take's not here either. So we have them. We have them drinking, doing arm wrestling contest, and then we have the finale for this particular segment. The arm wrestling contest was a really interesting one where, Toru won because she bribed Sota with a magic crystal. And Luke was like, what'd you cheer for? Because I bribed him. He's like, yep, she bribed me. And then we see her have Sota sit on Lukua's lap for the rest of the segment. And then we have this weird ending where we have Toru just like, oh yeah, time for the wedding ceremony. And Kobayashi's like, what? And of course, quick change, both of them wearing wearing bride's dresses. And of course, Kobayashi has no idea what the heck is going on. And then of course she runs away, but she does appreciate the fact that Toru did this for her just to make her happy. But they're not going to get married, not just yet. But it's a weird way. And of course, having almost the entire cast chase them, with the exception of Fafnir, Sakawa, and Take. With the exception of these three characters, we have pretty much everybody chasing after Kobayashi, and having Enma and Toru have a brief fight in the episode, which is, well, something they did have several episodes back. So it's a good way to end this season by having some, looking back at how pretty good the season was. That's pretty much the episode itself. It's a interesting episode. I don't think it's terrible. I think it's okay. It's not terrible. Mm-hmm. Oh wait, I think there may have been one anime I think I did remember where it did. I think it did have a viewing party. I think it was the Quintessence Quintuplets. I think that one did have one. Mm-hmm. But yeah, final thoughts on the second season of Mr. Kobashi's Dragon Maid. Had a good start to it. I like the stuff with Lukua. I think her segments are really good. And, of course, is so hilarious the fact that Take is so obvious that Take's got a thing for her. Yeah, it's interesting, though. We have Take with Lukua. We have Kana with Sakawa, of course, Kobayashi with Toru. We have Fafnir staying with Tuckwood. And Enma doesn't have anybody. She's, by herself. And I'm like, can we give a human character for her to interact with besides Kobayashi? I'm like, there's no reason. Oh yeah, by the way, the sacrifice party. Yeah, I thought that was really weird. In case you're curious, you might be asking, have I seen this before in an anime? The answer is no. Where we have Emma's like, oh yeah, she's gonna strip. Is she gonna appear naked? No. Shows off what's on her belly. A face. And just belly dance. Because of course she does. I get the fact Enma is a beautiful woman, but was this necessary? We even see the back of her where we see that look like she wears a pair of panties, almost like a thong. And we see that her tail partially just pulls it down the back partially. That's what it looks like to me. Yeah. But this season had a good start to it. I thought it was kind of weird that we had several episodes not even focused on Kobayashi at all. And she's practically the main character of the series. Another thing that is typical for the series is the fact that chapters are adapted out of order. But one thing that I do appreciate, though, as of last week's episode, the series has already adapted the first 64 chapters. Yep, the first 64, they're all done. Yep. So, starting next season, we're finally going to continue beyond this stuff. Yes. I do know there is going to be a OVA coming out in a few months. I'm definitely looking forward to watching that, and that'll be my 20-second review for this particular series. So all in all, when it comes to season, good start. I like all the action stuff basically of this one, and it was something different. And then we have this weird conclusion where we just had to readapt stuff we already adapted before, just so we can have a decent conclusion. I gotta say, it's a more close adaptation than they did for the last season. Oddly enough, no Christmas stuff this season, which I thought that was kind of weird. Yeah, we had probably because of the timing, basically when they aired this, and we even had an episode I thought was just really cool, where we had segments where we have Kana going to the country, which actually is the first time in the series. Well, except for going to the other world, first time they've ever had something set outside of Japan for this series. Yep. But not much to say about it. It's pretty good. Okay, so that's the particular review. Next one, Comic Corn, and then Drugs Around the World. Okay, next video. Bye.